I'm Brandon Francis, the Education Resource Coordinator for the Eagle Gardening Project here at New Mexico State University, the Agricultural Science Center in Farmington. And today we'll be installing a raised garden bed, and finding the perfect spot for your raised garden bed is essential, because not only do you want to have a spot where there's adequate sunlight during the day, 8 to 10 hours, because if your plants and your seeds don't have that sunlight to warm the soil and for your plants to grow, they'll just lie in dormancy waiting for those conditions to be ideal. And when you're installing your garden bed, you want it to be in a nice spot, and you want to have a weed barrier or a landscape fabric to cover the bottom. Today we'll be using cardboard, which is also biodegradable and will break down eventually, but it will work as a weed barrier to prevent invasive plants from coming in from the bottom and invading your soil that you're going to be adding on top of the weed barrier, because the invasive plants are just waiting for the ideal conditions to come up and thrive in the soil that you want for your plants. And when you're adding soil, you want to make sure it has peat moss, perlite, or vermiculite, because you want drainage from the popped rock or perlite, but you also want aeration, because plants, they also need, like us, they need air and water to thrive, and the soil microbes also need that as well. And the peat moss provides carbon for growth, and just like us, we need carbon to grow and for plant structures to thrive. So when you add it, you want to add it almost to the top but not overflowing, because you want that soil needs to be nice and fluffy for the roots to reach down into the soil, and you want it to be fluffy, not packed down. If you don't have ready-made soil, you can add soil where you know it's from a reliable source, and you know that it's not full of invasive plants, and you know that it's not full of contaminants. So then you can add the perlite or the vermiculite depending on the soil type, and you can add the peat moss for carbon.
See us cast a tapit Neo dola do bahujo coca Nihikaya chico chipitian Neo Nejo oh ya Nejo oh ya Nejo oh ya Nejo oh ya hey Neo Tichol Ibakate Nihichiko Nihili Niliko Atapitian